Hello, my name is Lane Brown and I'm the Program Director of Plant Grow Share, a program within the Central Neighborhood.
And hello, my name is Carmen Lewis and I am the Executive Director of the Central Neighborhood.
So the first thing that you should know about us in the Central Neighborhood, we're in partnership currently with Minneapolis Climate Action. Minneapolis Climate Action and the Central Neighborhood have been partnering for about 2 years now?
Yes.
About 2 years. We're based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Central Neighborhood specifically is one of the 4 neighborhoods that meet at the intersection of George Floyd Square, which is the intersection that George Perry Floyd Jr. was murdered at in May of 2020.
That, as you've seen, I'm sure you've seen it, it's nowhere that you could not have seen it, but literally changed the trajectory of our neighborhood. However, it uplifted the disparities that our neighborhood was already facing. So although it inflamed what was already here, we are yet dealing with the aftermath, especially with climate. You know, during that time, fires were burning everywhere. And just things that we just had to conquer and overcome, and still figuring out ways and solutions that we were already being faced with as a neighborhood in the South Minneapolis area.
CANDO, which is the Central Neighborhood Area Development Organization, that's us. CANDO is Black-led. Our staff is 100% led by people of color. Our board right now is 25% people of color, and we've got active board members in the process of joining that will increase those numbers.
Yes.
Minneapolis Climate Action, which was established in 2008, also has leadership of people of color on the board, as well as the majority of their partners are Black-led or BIPOC-led. Both CANDO and Minneapolis Climate Action have robust youth programming that integrates youth and elders into everything that we do.
Well, as we are turning the corner, I should say, or in a new lane after the uprising that would happen, we keep referring to that because that is literally our present, what we deal with every day. We wanted to make sure that we did it with intentionality of intergenerational, what Lane is speaking of. And so what we found out very quickly is that the aftermath of such an uprising, it requires a very intentional space created for what healing looks like. So for us, the work that we do around intergenerational, whether we our work around that's centered in anti-racism, we wanted to make sure that the healing components that we brought to the community reflected the cultural diversity and the different challenges that community faced. One of those challenges being environmental injustice. And so part of that is not only teaching and training our young people together, creating learning spaces for our young people, it was also being able to invite our elders in that also was not aware of what environmental injustice looked like.
Absolutely. In the Central Neighborhood, we have Black folks, we have Latina folks, we have Somali folks, we have Indigenous folks. And what's unique about our neighborhood is it's been experiencing systemic racism for as long as it's existed. The Central Neighborhood itself was a landing zone for Black and Indigenous and Latinx and Somali folks, and has been for decades. When infrastructure was first developed in Minneapolis, we lost 60 blocks of Black-owned houses. What that did was it completely destabilized the economic stability of the Black community, and we saw environmental pollution increase dramatically. With that much traffic being added into a Black community, we suddenly saw rates of asthma increase by volumes. We know that the soil health has been impacted greatly, and one of the ways that our people have historically been able to support themselves has been through growing food. Our food cannot be grown here safely because our soil is sick. Our soil has lead, arsenic, cadmium, and so many other chemicals that contaminate our ability to support ourselves. We believe that we can create an urban landscape that heals, not harms.
And in that urban landscape, we wanted to go beyond just creating solutions for. Our goal as a neighborhood organization and with our partners is to create solutions with. We wanted to get from that word of reducing to eliminating, right? And so how do you do that? You do that by really doing long-term transformational work. You do that by not just giving the tools, but also welcoming all experiences to the table. You do that by literally creating space that we can grow together. We consider none of us being experts. Our job and the way that we handle our level of stewardship is making sure that we create space for voices, for the disconnected, for the left out, for folks of color that will never be involved in a table or at a table, and also to draw solutions from a place that will be long term, not just for the current person that is at the table, but also for that individual's grandchild, that individual's children. And so our thought pattern is around healing, and we believe that when we learn how to treat the environment, when we learn the tools that causes the environment not to be able to heal, we're talking about breaking generational poverty that supersedes the pocketbook, but also the mindsets. The mindset begins to change, education begins to change, empowerment begins to exchange, shared power becomes a thing, and now we are taking back what was stolen away through the power of building true community around the topic of environmental injustice.
We have dozens of partners that can't wait to get to work. We need your support. We serve Black folks, we serve Indigenous folks, we serve Latinx, we serve Somali folks, Hmong, Lao, seniors, veterans, you name it. When we serve our community, we are also served by the community. And we're grateful to walk in partnership together. Thanks.
Thank you.